Greetings of peace and love. I'm honored to be told to speak about Dadi Janki. And for me, that is a very easy subject because I could write a whole book about Dadi Janki. So Dadi Janki, for me, she was my teacher, she was my advisor, she was my mentor. She was somebody that I even called a boss now and again. And when people wanted me to do something that was perhaps a little unpalatable, they would go and ask Dadi Janki to ask me. So that was absolutely true because I could never say no to Dadi Janki. Everything I am that I know that I've learned of value has come from Dadi Janki. Dadi Janki gave me time. She sacrificed time for me. And I always was very happy whenever she was able to speak to me. I have followed her. I have been around with her in England, in Seattle, in Vancouver, in Hyderabad, in Mumbai, wherever. I have been with Dadi Janki. I've taken the opportunity. I drove her. I've flown with her. And because every minute that I spent with Dadi Janki has been invaluable to me. Dadi was a great teacher. When she spoke and explained the Murli, it was something that just sank in. It was something that we all loved. And people say that Dadi was sometimes could be a little bit tough, but for me, she was always loving, always caring, always gave me advice that eventually turned out to be absolutely correct. She also was a taskmaster. And she expected you to perform. I remember once in Oxford, I dropped her from London to Oxford, and then we agreed that we would meet 2 days from that. And then I came 2 days later, and she told me, "And where were you yesterday? I expected you here yesterday." I said, "But Daddy, we had agreed that I was going to come today." She said, "Yes, but I wanted you to attend an important meeting yesterday, but your line was not clear because I was sending you messages." That was Dadi Janki. She expected me to have caught her message here and to have come. That was Dadi. I remember once she said that she asked me to do something, and I said that, "Daddy, I'm trying to adopt this, to learn this properly." And she was quite firm and said, "You are no longer a child in the BK world." She told me, "You are grown up now. Don't tell me you are going to try. You have to make it. You have to learn it. Otherwise, when are you going to learn?" And sometimes she made you think about things. I think everybody knows my story of my first meeting with Dadi Janki when I went to see her in London. And I had just finished my course. I could not even call myself a BK really. but my teacher, who was Nikki, wanted me to go and meet with her, so I went to see her. And the first question she asked me is that, what are you looking for? And quick as a flash, I said, peace of mind. And she said, we have all become beggars. We are begging for this, begging for peace of mind. And in those days, my ego was huge. And I thought, this old lady is calling me a beggar. So I was quite annoyed because I didn't understand what she was trying to say, that we've all become beggars, in that we are just asking for things. We do not create for ourselves. So like that, in the beginning, I found that Dadi Janki was quite firm and resolute about things, that we had to get it right. And if we did not, we at least thought about whatever she said. So Dadi, for me, was an absolute example that I knew that I could not follow, but whenever she tried everything so much harder than anybody else I know. You know that she I was a co-host with her for the Future of Power programs, and she attended all of the first 10 programs. And although it was hard for her, she had a very problem with her back, and I know that Hansa Ben was giving her painkiller jabs, injections, and she was still bringing her to Hyderabad, to here, there, everywhere. And I was feeling bad for her. And one day, when I was saying, Daddy, I know that you're not feeling good, she said, you don't have to worry about me. And I also realized that Dadi was one of the 8 souls. And she had to do all of those things because somebody like me, cannot even think about being one of 8. But she was resolute about that. She did things knowing where she was going to go. So all my BK life, I have followed Dadi. I have so many examples of things that she has given to me, taught for me. And the one thing I loved, that in her glasses case, she always kept the messages that she got via Dadi Gulzar or directly from Baba. They were all handwritten, and she would save them in a glasses case. And if she wanted to bestow that on you, she would take it on, she would read it. And so Dadi Janki was a unique soul. There is not a day that goes past when I don't think about something that Dadi Janki did or said, and that I don't think in a situation, I say to myself, what would Dadi Janki advise me to do? Because she was a soul beyond all. She was a master in everything that she did. She was a real master soul. And as I said, I think about her every day. And all the things that she has taught me have stayed with me and will stay with me. Because, as I said, she was everything to me. Before I came to BK Life, I always used to say with pride, I only have one boss, and that was God. After I met Dadi Janki, I quite often considered that in addition to God, I also sometimes had another boss, and that was Dadi Janki. That I accepted her as that because she had qualities that warranted listening to, adopting, and following. So, Dadi Janki, a wonderful soul. I will always think of her, always will love her, and I miss her very much. Om Shanti.